moving on from our practice of concentration, of dharana, to our practice of meditation, which is dhyana. And of course, meditation is something that is best done at the end of our practice, right? We use asanas to work out the kinks in the physical body so that we can sit and be still, which sometimes is really hard. And we use it as a way to create concentration in the mind through drishti, through focus on the breath. So the practice that I've designed to get us ready for meditation, starting out standing, and then we're going to gradually work down, 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 till we go onto our mat. We'll do a short shavasana, and then we're going to come back up into a seated position and see how easy it is for us to move from a space of concentrating into a space of actually meditating. Okay, so let's start on the top of our mat in standing. With this practice, we're going to use some repetitive, almost ritualistic kind of movements to get us into a groove of not having to think so hard about what's coming next and just letting it happen very organically. So we start with the hands at the heart, anchoring your concentration to your breath. The breath is that constant, ever-present pattern that we can always anchor our thoughts to. We'll start with our Hasta Vinyasa. We're going to inhale up the center line to the third eye. Raise the gaze up, reach toward the sky. Exhale, down the center line, down to the heart, fold to the earth. Inhale up through center, heart, third eye, lift the gaze. Exhale, down center. Creating a flowing pattern that works with the pace of your breath. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, that's a great way to draw in pratyahara, to draw energy away from the external senses to your internal environment, to the awareness of your breath, to the experience of the movement internally. And this time, as you come up, we reach to the sky and then drop down to the heart, staying standing, releasing the arms down. And then we'll start a side-to-side flow with the spine, reaching the arm overhead, pressing the hip out, fluid side-to-side movement. Again, you're encouraged to close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. One more side bend to each side. Bringing the arms behind the back. And then we're going to drop the knuckles. Take an inhale, lift your gaze, expand the heart. As you exhale, fold down into a forward bend. Let the arms drop behind you. Inhale, ride the breath all the way up. Exhale, sink down into gravity. This movement is a little bit more difficult for your balance if your eyes are closed. You might feel comfortable with that, or it might be easier to open your eyes and take an external drishti point just to find stability. more time. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Releasing the arms, sweeping them up high. Exhale down through the center. And bow to the earth. So we're coming back to our starting movement. Inhale up, center line. Rising up to the sky. Exhale, bowing down center line to the earth. Last one here. As you exhale, stopping at the heart, staying standing, and we're going into our flowing side bend. Taking one more side bend on each side. And then as you return to center, clasp the hands behind you into Yoga Mudra. Let the shoulders drop back, the face rises up. Exhale, bend the knees generously and roll down. Inhale, ride the wave of the breath to come up. Taking one more round like that. The next time that you find your way down into a forward bend, we're going to stay there. Release the arms, let them drop down. And then here we're going to add an alternating rotation, just gently, starting by softening the right knee, sweeping the left arm up, dropping the left hand down, left knee softens, right arm comes up. Rolling from side to side, rotating the spine. Pulling in that aspect of creating a meditative movement. Focusing, drawing down into your deeper layers. Last round, twisting one side and the other side. Folding into your forward bend. So now we're going to start that whole movement from the beginning, linking those things together. We inhale, heart, third eye, reach to the sky. Exhale, third eye, heart, down to the ground. And this time as you rise up, inhale up the center line. We'll transition into a side bend and a side bend. And then one more like that. Side bend, side bend. Coming back into center, releasing the arms behind the back. Find your back bend. Exhale, roll to the earth. Inhale, roll up. One more like that. And then this time as you exhale, come down and we're going to stop in our forward bend. Let the arms release. Move into that flowing rotation, opening the arm, closing the arm. Open the other side. One more each way. Releasing the arms down. Let yourself pause and settle in a forward bend. Shaking your head, shaking your arms. Take your inhale, come halfway up. Sweep the arms back. And then maybe sweeping the arms out to the sides into a T. Feel that sense of expansion across your upper back, out through your fingertips. Expanding out through the front and the back of the heart. Exhale, draw that into your heart center and drop down into gravity. From there, we're going to wiggle our feet together and start to bend the knees and lift up into a toe balance. Bringing the hands to the heart. Fixing your drishti point, that point of visual concentration and that point of mental concentration that we used in our last practice, using that to keep your balance. And then testing the internal drishti just for a few seconds. See how that experience changes when you close your eyes. See how much harder your feet and your toes have to work. And then opening the eyes, reestablishing your external drishti, and see how much that helps you to steady and find your center. And then we'll drop the hands down, bringing the knees down to the mat, finding your table. Let your shoulders and your hips sway from side to side, just making sure that the back is moving well, everything is loose. Transition that into a forward and back cat and cow. And then push those two movements together into this circular movement with your spine, just like a jump rope. Out and around. There's lots of movement around your shoulders as well. Looping that around. And then switch, go the opposite way. Coming back up into center. And then we'll pause there. Tuck your toes underneath, press your hips back, and find downward facing dog. With your exhale, step your left foot carefully up toward the top of the mat and let your back knee ground down. Here we're going to inhale to lift up, bring the hands to the heart, to the third eye, and up toward the sky. Exhale, third eye and heart. Take one more round like that, inhaling up, exhaling down. Release the hands back, find Yoga Mudra. Inhale to tip the shoulders back. As you exhale, rolling down towards your knee. Inhaling it up. Exhale down. As you come back up, we're going to side bend. and side bend. Watching your balance with that one. Coming back into center, drop your hands down, and then here we're going to just roll open and close with a twist on the left arm. Inhaling and rolling it open, exhale, releasing down. If you'd like for this one, you can lift your back knee. Last breath here. Framing the left foot, we'll pull that underneath, drawing it back to downward facing dog. As you exhale, step your right foot up, and we're going to take the same sequence on the other side. Let your left knee drop down. As you inhale, heart, third eye, up to the sky. Exhale, coming down. Find your stability. And we'll bring that into a side to side. We'll sway. Moving slowly on that one. It can be hard to stay balanced. Bringing the arms behind the back. Find Yoga Mudra. Inhale, tip the shoulders back. And as you exhale, heart drops down past the knee. The next time that you come down, release the arms, settle them down to frame your right foot. And then here we're going to move into our opening and closing twist. Inhale, letting the breath sweep the arm up. Your exhale settles you back down to the mat. Last breath on this side. Plant the hands on either side of your foot. Tuck your back toes underneath, lift them up. And then we're going to step the right foot back. Downward facing dog. Exhale to let your knees drop down and settle into child's pose. Let yourself rest. Taking an inhale, we're going to lift up onto the knees. And we're going to come up into kneeling mountain. Now if your knees are sensitive, take your blanket, a pillow, a towel, anything that you like, and give the kneecaps some padding, because your kneecaps are really bony. They usually don't like being pushed against the floor. And then we inhale, rising up, exhale down through the center. Inhale, heart, third eye, up to the sky. Exhale back down. Last one here. As you drop down, placing your hands to the sides or back towards your feet, pulling yourself into a small, tight shape. As you inhale, lifting up, coming towards seated. And we're going to swing the feet around. Here the blanket or the towel becomes really useful to put right underneath your hips so that you can have a slit lift, and it helps to tip our pelvis forward so that we can come into our seated poses. So we're going to start out with Baddha Konasana, using our forward bends as a way to progressively settle down toward the mat to prepare for a good meditation. We want to make sure that the hips are open so that we're going to be comfortable in our seated position. Clasping around the feet or the ankles, take your inhale, lift from your heart, lengthen the whole spine, and then see if there is space for you to hinge forward from the hips. Keep that outward push from your heart. Eventually, as you settle, let your eyes close. Draw yourself toward an internal drishti. For this one, a good spot to focus would be the navel point. Taking your inhale to lift yourself up. Help the knees to come toward each other. Walking the feet back. And then wrapping the arms around, letting your head drop down. Slowly inhaling, lifting your head, moving forward off of your blanket, and then rolling down onto the mat. As you come down onto the mat, gather the knees straight back into your chest. Opening through the toes, pressing the feet up toward the ceiling. Holding onto the back of the legs anywhere that feels comfortable for you. Or if you prefer, you can go into shoulder stand or any other version of turning the body upside down. We're using our inversion as a way to shift the way that our awareness is oriented from the normal external focus. We're trying to shift to a stronger internal focus so that we can move down the layers, so that we can quiet the mind and slip into that space of meditation. Starting to bend the knees wherever you are. Carefully rolling back down to the mat. Letting your feet drop. And then as your feet come down onto the mat, let your knees rock from side to side. Coming back into center and stretching the legs out. We settle into Shavasana. Using this as your process of letting everything go. Letting go of your judgment, of analyzing, of thinking. Just letting things be exactly as they are and settling into a place of experience. Just letting yourself be. Starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes very, very gently. Just the tiniest bit of effort. Starting to draw your feet back. As your feet come back, start to roll over toward your side, letting your head just roll. Moving slowly and carefully, we're going to come up into a seated position. And you might not even want to fully open your eyes or fix your gaze. You're going to take the blanket and tuck it underneath the hips to make your seat very comfortable. Crossing the legs any way that you like, where you feel like the spine is lifted so that we maintain alertness as we slide into that place of internal focus and then absorption into that experience of being. Starting with an anchor, you can anchor the mind to your breath. Starting to draw your awareness out to the sounds that you're hearing around you. And letting that reestablish your place in the room. Becoming aware of your surroundings. Finding a deeper, fuller expression of your breath. And then carefully opening the eyes, bringing the hands into the heart. And we'll end with the chant that I frequently end my class with. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to that happiness and freedom in some way. Namaste.